My phone ring.
Yesterday in the meeting?
It did.
Isn't that $5? Just thinking.
I second that motion.
Right.
I think I'm silent.
Say Kevin. Can I borrow $5?
Yeah, sure. I know you're on a fixed income.
He really wants to give 10,
That's right.
but he wants to use a charge card.
That's right.
Got 3 in the man.
You can let it ring all day. Sale of indulgences.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the June 10th, 2026 Lenawee County Board of Commissioners meeting. Welcome, everyone. Good to see everyone. We'll call the meeting to order. I'd ask everyone if you would please rise, and we'll have the invocation, which will be offered by Commissioner Krasny, and it'll be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by our Deputy Clerk, Mrs. Zubke. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Those who are willing, bow your heads with me, please. Dear Lord, we thank you for the privilege of gathering here today and for the freedom we enjoy in our wonderful community. Your word instructs us to pray for those who are in authority so that we may lead peaceful, dignified, and quiet lives. Please lift up our county commissioners today to lead our community for the greater sake of our constituents. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Krasny and Deputy Clerk Zubke. Mrs. Zubke, if you would call the roll, please.
Commissioner Ungst,
Here.
Commissioner Blanco,
Here.
Commissioner Collins, Commissioner Daly,
Here.
Commissioner Krasny,
Here.
Commissioner Martis,
Here.
Commissioner Stimson,
Here.
Commissioner Tillotson,
Here.
Commissioner Van Doren,
Here.
9 present.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes of May 13th, 2006 would be in order.
So moved.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Blanco, supported by Commissioner Ungst. Are there any additions or corrections? Additions or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Amendments to the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we amend the agenda under new business for the purpose of discussion for the solicitation of RFPs for the purpose of a comprehensive facility space utilization and departmental location assessment.
Very well. Are there any other additions or corrections? If not, a motion would be in order to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Support. I have a motion by Commissioner Blanco, supported by Commissioner Ungst. Discussion. Counselor. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, I did move to amend the agenda. That's correct.
Correct. You're right.
Support.
Sorry. And Commissioner Ungst, you're supporting?
Sure. Doesn't matter.
Yes,
Either
I
one.
can.
All set? Thank you. Sorry about that. Amendment, okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Petitions and communications. None, and, okay. Thank you. Introduction of special guests. I believe the administrator has a couple for us.
I do, if you could bear with me. As you know, they recently had a vacated position in the Chief Public Defender's Office, in that department head position. And I would like to introduce to you, Ms. Christine Beecher. She is our new Chief Public Defender, and as she comes forward, I'm sure that if you have any questions for her, please feel free to answer them. Christine, we can go right to the, oh, you're gonna shake hands, but however you want to do it. But right there, I've asked Christine to come and just introduce herself to you, tell you a little bit about herself and what her plans are, and feel free to ask her any questions you'd like.
Welcome. So there's a little button in front of you, a little green button for the speaker.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. There you
Hi, I'm Christine Beecher. I'm originally from Jackson. I still reside there currently. I'm delighted to be the Chief Public Defender for Lenawee County. I believe that we can have a strong office to collaborate and better the court situation, the public defender situation, and be a strong advocate for the indigent community amongst us. So I am excited. I know we've got a lot of work to do, but I'm open to any questions that you may have.
Questions for Christine?
Thank you.
I just want to say I'm very excited to have her with us. She received overwhelmingly on our team of people that were conducting the interviews. She received overwhelmingly a very high score amongst everyone, and we were really excited to have her come on board. And I do know that she's got a lot going on this afternoon, and so I've indicated to her there's no need for her to stay for the entire meeting. We will release her to go back to her office, but I did want to give you an opportunity to meet her as one of your new department heads.
Thank you and
Thank you.
welcome. Glad to
Thank
have you
you.
aboard.
I also have a second person I would like to introduce. Some of you may know this individual. As you know, we have an opening in the administrator's office for our community development coordinator. And we did advertise, and this individual also received very high scores. We're super excited to have her on board. This is Miss Lisa Hewitt Cruz. So Lisa, would you like to talk a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Good afternoon, Chairman Van Doren and Commissioners and Administrator Murphy. I'm honored to be your next Community Development Coordinator for the county. I'd just like to express my sincere appreciation to the Commission and Administrator Murphy for the confidence you have placed in me for this opportunity to serve the county and our residents, and I'm excited to join this team and contribute to the county's continued growth and success. Throughout my career, I have retired from the federal government, so I had oversight of the whole United States, and my most recent adventure was being appointed to a special project for the Undersecretary of the United States of America to create a guide for all newly appointed state directors, 50 state directors in the state of United States. So I do have that kind of high level view, and I'm really excited to replicate that here in Lenawee County. Mostly solving problems, improving processes, and creating opportunities that enhance the quality of life for all of our residents. I believe strong communication, collaboration, and accountability are essential to meaningful results, and I look forward to working with all of you, our municipal partners, businesses, residents, and community stakeholders. As I become more familiar with the county's priorities and ongoing initiatives, my goal is to be a resource in partnering and administering the commission's vision, whatever your vision is. And I would like to meet with each and every one of you, if allowed to do that, to hear what your vision is for the areas, the municipality areas that you serve within the county. I will at some point provide you with reports, progress reports, letting you know about what we've accomplished, what some of our pain points are, what some opportunities are, but mostly funding opportunities that are being missed here in Lenawee County to bring those resources to Lenawee County, federal and state funding sources. I'm grateful for the warm welcome that I received this morning and getting set up. Today is my first day on the job, so I'm about 5 hours in and going well so far. Look forward to building relationships, strong relationships with everybody across the county. And thank you again for the opportunity to serve. And I am excited to get started.
Anybody have a question for Lisa? Lisa, welcome aboard. You know, the interesting part that we're going to have here is you're going to be available to the entire Lenawee County area. I happen to work together with Lisa in my past experience in economic development, and I'm telling you, she is one of the most professional, hardworking people that I've ever met in that field. So she did some wonders for us here in Lenawee County, brought some monies to Lenawee County that we never even knew about or heard about, and brought a whole new era of economic development for Lenawee County. So glad to have you aboard here at Lenawee County government.
Thank you, Chairman. Appreciate it.
Others? Commissioner Martis.
Just a quick comment. I've had a chance to interact with Lisa in a couple of her former roles, and I share Jim's enthusiasm. Very excited about the skills, the connections, the talent she brings, and as I've said, there are not many people I would actually feel comfortable hiring without a job description. This lady, I think I would, because I think we're gonna need to support her and stay out of her way, because she's got a lot to get done, and I have full confidence she will do it. So I'm glad you're here.
Thank you, Commissioner. Appreciate that.
I'm sure we'll be modifying that job description as she moves along. Sure. Any others?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. Welcome aboard. Limited public comment or anybody that has a comment on the agenda item. I didn't have any notices sent up here to me, so I don't, anybody want to talk about an agenda item, have a comment on an agenda item? Okay, thank you. Resolutions or proclamations. We have a resolution by Commissioner Collins to be presented today for the retirement of Tammy Sheldon, unless maybe we'll vote that she can't retire, so.
This is a resolution honoring the retirement of Veteran Services Director Tammy Sheldon. Am I right? Whereas Tammy Sheldon began her distinguished career with Lenawee County on October 4th, 1982. Some of you might not have been born yet by that time. And will retire on July 5th, 2026, concluding an extraordinary 43 years and 9 months of dedicated public service. Whereas Tammy served the Lenawee County Department of Veterans Affairs in a variety of capacities, beginning as clerk typist 1, advancing to secretary 1 on January 1 of 1986, later being appointed as a Veterans Services Officer March 7, 2003, and a position retitled to Veterans Service Director on February 1st, 2024. And whereas throughout her career, Tammy demonstrated exceptional professionalism, integrity, commitment to public service, while providing invaluable assistance to veterans and their families in obtaining benefits, services, and resources earned through their service to our nation. And whereas through her knowledge, leadership, and compassionate advocacy, Tammy earned the respect and appreciation of veterans, colleagues, elected officials, and community partners, leaving a lasting and positive impact on the citizens of Lenawee County. And whereas Tammy's dedication to serving veterans and her unwavering commitment to Lenawee County exemplify the highest standards of public service and have strengthened the support available to those who have served our country. Now therefore be it resolved that the Lenawee County Board of Commissioners hereby recognizes and honors Tammy Sheldon for her 43 years and 9 months of dedicated service to Lenawee County and extends its deepest gratitude and appreciation for her outstanding contributions to the Department of Veterans Affairs and the veteran community. Be it further resolved that the Lenawee County Board of Commissioners congratulates Tammy Sheldon on her retirement and extends its best wishes for her health, happiness, and fulfillment in the years ahead. I so move.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Collins, supported by Commissioner Tillotson. Discussion. Hearing none. All those, or would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Collins,
Yes.
Commissioner Daly,
Yeah.
Commissioner Krasny,
Yes.
Commissioner Martis,
Yes.
Commissioner Stimson, Commissioner Tillotson,
Yes.
Commissioner Van Doren,
Yes,
Commissioner Ungst,
Yes.
Commissioner Blanco,
Yes.
9 yeas.
resolution passes.
Hi, I'm Mike Shadbold. I'm the chairman of the Lenawee County Veterans Affairs Executive Committee. First of all, I'd like to express my personal gratitude to Tammy for all the work and care that she has given the veterans and their families of Lenawee County. The dollar amount of benefits, compensation, educational assistance, and medical benefits that you and your staff have assisted veterans and their families over the last 40 years is staggering. Very conservatively, hundreds of millions of dollars have come into Lenawee County. What really warms my heart is the dignity and compassion imparted upon the veterans and their families, at which is usually a pretty dark time in their lives. 40 years of knowledge of how the VA operates, grant writing, and just the way things operate is going to be leaving the building at 1040 South Winter Street. I know of the long hours, nights, and weekends that you've committed to your craft. Now it's time to exhale, okay? Do some things that Tammy wants to do. More time to spend with family, especially those grandkids, friends, and what I've said during my retirement, I may not do everything I want to do, but I do it when I want to. So, young lady, it's on to the next chapter of your life. Enjoy it. You've earned it. A job very well done.
Thank you to the chairman and the county commissioners and to the Lenawee County Executive Committee for this recognition. I am truly honored and grateful. It has been a privilege to serve, and get me all crying. It's been a privilege to serve the veterans and their families of Lenawee County for nearly 44 years. It has been an incredible journey, one that has helped improve the lives and well-being of thousands of veterans and their dependents. I will always cherish the relationships, friendships, and memories that I have made along the way. I sincerely will miss this work and the many people who have made it so meaningful. Thank you again for this special honor, your support through my career, and your continued commitment to the veterans of Lenawee County. Thank you.
Can't forget Ralph. Approval of the consent agenda would be in order.
Commissioner Krasny?
Yes.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
So moved.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Collins, supported by Commissioner Martis. Discussion. Okay, hearing none. Would the clerk please call the roll? No problem.
I was ready. Commissioner Krasny?
Yes.
Commissioner Martis?
Yes.
Commissioner Stimson? Commissioner Tillotson?
Yes.
Commissioner Van Doren?
Yes?
Commissioner Unks?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanco?
Yes.
Commissioner Collins?
Yes.
Commissioner Daly?
Yes.
9 yeas.
And the consent agenda is approved. We'll move on to standing committee reports and ask for accounts payable by Commissioner Martis, even though he was traveling around Europe, he's got a report for us.
I do. I made one of the meetings. The other time I would believe I was eating bangers and mash, for what that's worth. It's good. The AP committee met on the 14th and the 28th. You can see the detailed breakout on the screen there. The request, and I move that we recommend the approval of the accounts payable payments in the amount of $6,079,938.60, with the general funds portion being $765,844.32.
Support.
A motion by Commissioner Martis, supported by Commissioner Blanco. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you, Commissioner. Criminal Justice, Commissioner Collins.
Criminal Justice met on June 4th. The sheriff's report that they're conducting a boater safety class, June 13th, I believe, at Adrian College. Where's the boater safety class?
It's at the Devils Lake Water Sport.
Okay. And you contact the sheriff's department if you have any questions about it. Chris Hudson has been promoted to lieutenant, and he is now the new director of the dispatch center. We received a flock report from the sheriff. There were 96 queries over the period in various areas. The contract, which was part of the consent agenda for Rowland Township, was approved. Prosecutor's office just said they're swamped. They're incredibly busy. Public Defender's office, we just met the new chief public defender. Emergency management, have a grant application for the STOP grant. Those that may not know what the STOP grant, basically it is a grant that is to stop violence and programs of that in the schools. Hosted a weather service spotter training. Working on a workshop for Lenawee County cyber disruption. It was really surprising when they started describing what kind of disruptions we could have through our cybersecurity program. They're updating the emergency action guidelines, and Murray-Spear campus, I believe, will be reported out later. If there's any questions, be glad to answer.
Questions for Commissioner Collins? Thank you, Commissioner. IT and Equalization, Commissioner Krasny.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. IT and Equalization met on Thursday, June 4th at 1:30 PM with myself, Commissioner Collins, and Commissioner Tillotson present. We had some various reports, the finance report, the IT report. We had a request with regard to the Treasury Department and Oakland G2G agreements renewal. We had a in-depth communications report from Jennifer Ambrose and a lot of new communication activities going on that front. And then we discussed some software upgrades, and then we had an equalization report from our new equalization director, Clements. And we also discussed the AI policy, which is moving through various committees to get countywide approval here. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Commissioner Krasny? Thank you, Commissioner. Personnel Ways and Means, Commissioner Martis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Of course, we met yesterday in this chamber at 10 a.m. The bulk of the business actually included items referred from Commissioner Krasny's IT committee. One of note is the website accessibility software to make sure that our county software and our website is up to the latest state mandated ADA standards. And again, thanks to Ms. Ambrose for the great job she does up to this point. This software will help take us to the next level. All those items then, I believe, are on the consent agenda.
Questions for Commissioner Martis? Thank you, Commissioner. Policies and Procedures, Commissioner Blanco.
Yes, we met on Monday, June 1st, and as Commissioner Krasny brought up about the AI policy, we discussed it, is not quite ready to bring forward. We have some more work to do on it, so hopefully you'll be seeing that soon. But that was about all of that business for that meeting.
Questions for Commissioner Blanco? Thank you, Commissioner. Physical Resources, Commissioner Krasny.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Physical Resources Committee met on Thursday, June 4th at 11 a.m. with myself, Commissioner Tillotson, and Commissioner Blanco present. We went through all the various activities with building and grounds and maintenance, with some of the rain issues that we've had and some of the drain issues. We closed some projects out, some concrete projects and some MSC projects that we closed out. Drain Commissioner Scheffler gave us an update on all his work that he's been actively doing with the drains in this county. And that's about it, Mr. Chairman. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Commissioner Krasny? Thank you, Commissioner. Following our board appointment reports, Community Action Agency, Commissioner Stimson.
Both Community Action Agency and Community Mental Health, I was unable to attend due to a conference for Community Action Agency.
Thank you. County Planning Commission, Commissioner Blanco.
Yes, I was not able to attend, but I've got the minutes and then I'll let Commissioner Tillotson add if he remembers anything else. It looks like there was just one PA 116 farmland agreement to be looked at for Ogden Township, and it was recommended for approval. Anything else happen at that meeting?
No, you did a great job.
Okay, thanks.
Questions for Commissioner Blanco or Commissioner Tillotson? Thank you. Department on Aging, Commissioner Ungst.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We met on May 28th. We started out with Erica, the finance director, gave a presentation. She went into depth on the multiple entities that she has to bill and all the follow-up that she does and works with donations. Quite a job that she has there, but she does bring in a lot of money for the department. Director Robitaro is working on applying for grants. She's actually working on 13 different ones. They're also working on an arrangement with the campus as far as the kitchen. They've been in that kitchen 6 months now. And they're looking at the utilities that they have to share because it's being a dual purpose. So they're doing that. One of the highlights, on May 7th, the American Community Living representatives from Washington, DC came to visit our area. They visited a home care, home delivered meal client in her home, learning about the benefits of the program for the client and her family. They also stopped at the central kitchen to see the collaboration and innovative forward thinking of creating this kitchen. The impact of these programs was noted later as she went on to visit a fitness program at Wellwise Services and learn a bit more about the programming Wellwise provides to the 3 counties. This visit was one of 3 selected from around the country, so it was a very high honor. So I thought that was worth mentioning today. And then August 20th is going to be the annual meeting.
Interesting. Questions for Commissioner Ungst? Thank you, Commissioner. Department of Health and Human Services, Commissioner Tillotson.
They're gonna meet on Thursday, June 17th.
Emergency 911 District Board, Commissioner Collins.
Emergency 911 Board met on May 14th. It was kind of a bittersweet meeting as it was Lieutenant Purdue's last meeting. Everyone wished her well and offered her Kleenex while she was crying. The new director, as I stated earlier, is then Sergeant, now Lieutenant Hudson. He indicated there are 2 positions open in the dispatch center. There is a subcommittee developed to look over the bylaws and policies to establish any updates or new bylaws or policies they want to create. A subcommittee also created to update the 5-year plan in the dispatch center. And the state 911 director visited the dispatch center and was quite impressed with the operation. He said it was just as good as the previous dispatch director did. That would be you.
Questions for Commissioner Collins? Thank you, Commissioner. Runaway Public Transportation, Commissioner Tillotson.
All's well, they are continuing to grow, and that's the big black buses are the addition to what we already had, so talked a little about money. We'll talk about that in a later date.
Questions for Commissioner Tillotson? Thank you, Commissioner. MAC Finance, Administrator Murphy.
At the MAC meeting, simply, we had a update from Dina Bosworth regarding what's going on with our legislators right now. And we also looked at the finance platforms, and I believe Chairman Van Doren, you were present. I don't know if you want to add any detail of those discussions for the commissioners.
I have them all right here for anybody that'd like to review them, so I don't think you're gonna
Another
want me
copy.
to read through them today, but it was a pretty lengthy meeting. It went for 2.5 hours, but they finally are all approved and on the docket for MAC and the legislature.
And for those of you that are newer to the commission, these are the platforms in which Michigan Association of Counties will be taking on as representation of the counties to make sure that we are assured our continued revenue and taking a stance in other platforms. So
Questions for Administrator Murphy? Thank you, Administrator Murphy. MAC Judiciary Public Safety Deputy Administrator Elliott.
MAC Judiciary and Public Safety met May 18th. We too had an update from Dina Bosworth, as well as secured our platforms for the year. There was also some discussion about House Bill 5452, which did pass out of the House Judiciary Committee, sponsored by Rep. Leitner. This would eliminate the sunset on county authority to collect fees for court and criminal defendants. We also discussed parity between prosecutors and public defenders. And then there were some issues with tourism and a surge in 911 calls. So somehow finding a way to increase funding for some of those northern counties where tourism increases those 911 calls. That's about all we had. And then we
Question.
recess for the summer.
Oh, we are too. And, yeah, we return for the questions for Deputy Administrator Elliott. Thank you. Marie Spear Campus, Commissioner Ungst.
We met on June 3rd, and like we normally do, one of the students was recognized. And again, I say this every month, but they're doing amazing things with the students in there. And there's a lot of correspondence that goes along between them and the board, and I think it is something that's really beneficial to them. We also heard a presentation from the new recreational coordinator. Her name's Summer Jones. She seems very ambitious and has a lot of great plans for their program. She's looking at fixing up the weight room. She gave an excellent presentation. And again, like I said, she's got a lot of ambition. I think she'll be a good fit for the position. We also heard from the director. The kids are working at MIS. They should be done with that now since the race is already done, but that's one of the projects that they do to earn some money. And they also worked at the county tire collection, and I hear that went very successful as well. As far as the population report, an open unit, there's 10 boys and 5 girls. Detention unit, 5 boys, 1 girl. So total open detention, 15 boys and 6 girls. Total residents is 21. Then there is 10 of them are from out of county.
Question for Commissioner Ungst. Thank you for that report, Commissioner. Michigan Works was canceled and will be next week, right, Commissioner Collins?
That's correct, next Wednesday.
Okay, thank you. Region 2 Planning, Commissioner Tillotson.
They will meet again in July. They're off. It's an every other month situation.
Right.
I believe it'll be in Jackson. Kind of a short meeting, just talked about things in general. It wasn't very long either, so.
Questions for Commissioner Tillotson? Thank you, Commissioner. Substance Abuse Disorder, Commissioner Tillotson.
Yeah, they meet tonight. And then they're gonna meet the last Thursday on a day meeting. Can't tell you what date that is, but it's the last Thursday of the month.
Questions for Commissioner Tillotson? And we'll back up to solid waste material. Sorry, Commissioner Stimson.
It's okay. At the aforementioned conference I was at for community action, you see it was the same time period as this, so I was not present.
We were there, but there wasn't,
The agenda and the minutes didn't look like there was all.
yeah.
it was a relatively light agenda. There were a few things finalizing some of the plans. They did talk about the fact that the team that they have hired will be able to review the proposed plan before it goes to DLAG whatever word the acronym is right now for them, and, or Eagle, and then they are going to pre-review it before we were able to send it out to all the municipalities for their approval. So we will be able to save a few steps. Prior, we were told we would have to prepare it, hope that it's going to work with state approval, and take it out to our municipalities. But the contractor that we have working with us on the plan is able to, they have a good relationship, so they're able to get that pre-approval done before we take it out. So that should save us some time in the end.
Questions for Administrator Murphy? Thank you, Administrator Murphy. Lenawee now, Commissioner Martis, I believe you were out of the country.
I was
And I believe your substitute didn't make it to the meeting.
Still eating baggers and mash.
still eating, likewise for the road commission meeting, so you can skip that one too.
Okay, got it. Michigan Township Association, Commissioner Blanco.
I had to miss that too, but I know that Senator Joe Bellino was the guest speaker, and I ran into him a few days later and he said, "Hey, you were supposed to be at the MTA meeting." He said, "But I just, it was short." He updated everybody what he's been working on, what's been going on. And so that's really all I know. But I will, they're adjourned for the summer too, and they'll meet again in September, and I will be there.
You can tell the good weather's here, so. Questions for Commissioner Blanco? Thank you, Commissioner. Veterans Affairs, Commissioner Collins.
Veterans Affairs met on June 3rd. The totality of the meeting was involved in paring the applicants down to those that the board wanted to interview for a replacement for Tammy Sheldon. They narrowed the applicants down to 3. As I understand, one of the 3 has withdrawn their applications. The remaining 2 will be interviewed this Friday in the morning, determine they will select as a replacement.
Questions for Commissioner Martis, or excuse me, Commissioner Collins? Thank you, Commissioner. Wellwise Services, we did meet last month. We had a public hearing on the goals, which they have to do annually, and I have all of those, number of the notes here. It was very enlightening. I mean, they must have had pretty close to 100 people there that come in from the different counties to help them decide what kind of needs there are for the community, for the aging people. So it was very interesting. With that, we also went through, and I have it here available if anybody wants to see it, the annual report. I didn't bring copies for everyone because they will be here later in the year to make a presentation. There's an annual celebration that they want to invite you all to on June 16th from 12 to 2, talking about the accomplishments and the plan notes that they had for their meeting. And finally, they have a community needs survey that you're all welcome to fill out if you would like one. They're available here. So any questions? Thank you. Unfinished business? New business, solicitation of RFPs for the comprehensive facilities, space utilization, and department location assessment. And we'd like to discuss moving this forward.
Yes, after the meeting yesterday, which of course I can't discuss because it took place in closed session, I realized there was some further discussion that needed to take place. And in fact, this matter had more time sensitivity to it than we recognized at the time that this came before us. There's some concern about making sure that we're qualified to review the proposals that come in. I share that concern. And so one of the things I discussed with Administrator Murphy is when we issue the RFP, one of the things we request from the applicants is a list of any RFQ processes they may have been through in the past for projects of a similar nature, understanding that the bulk of the firms in the 4 or 5 counties around us who may be interested in this will have been in business for 30 to 50 years and likely have a great depth of experience on this issue. Furthermore, once we actually receive the proposals, if we find out that there are more things we need to understand about it, nothing prevents us from then retaining an outside consultant to take an additional review. But there is a time-sensitive nature to this that could involve some substantial grant money that a several-month delay may be not the best, which is why I move that we authorize Administrator Murphy and the Board of Commissioners to proceed with the solicitation of RFPs for the purpose of a comprehensive facility space utilization and departmental location assessment.
Motion by Commissioner Martis. Is there support? Or? I have support by Commissioner Daly. Discussion. Commissioner Stimson.
Being that this is a substantial change from yesterday, will you elaborate on this a little bit more, please? I don't have any information about this new funding, this grant source that.
I'm not comfortable revealing more than that here. I'd be glad to talk to you about it afterwards because it's rather sensitive nature.
I don't think we can talk about stuff like that afterwards and deliberate out of. Open.
I'm not asking you to deliberate. If you want information about it, we can discuss it, but I'm not going to say any more on the topic.
So a secret fund that we don't know about, we're expected to move forward on an RFP.
Well, the great thing is you can vote no.
I appreciate that, Mr. Martis. I am trying to inquire for the public at large at a public meeting held and broadcast before our constituents about why within the 24-hour period, there's a role reversal. So clearly information came to your being and you've spread that information to others, and that's why it's on the agenda. My concern about all of this is that in general, when looking at a project such as this, that is such a large scoped project, no one in this room has the requisite qualifications to even understand what the RFP would request to be. To suggest that we're only, I think you said 4 or 5 counties is going to be the net that's cast on anybody who might bid on this RFP vastly underestimates the scope and knowledge of this unless there's some predetermined concept that's already been discussed. And I've not been privy to any of that discussion. So I am of grave concern. I represent the city of Tecumseh and the Tecumseh Township, and they would certainly want to know why we would move forward with massive amounts of potential capital having to be expended on behalf of the county without knowledge of where this stuff is coming from. And when I ask a simple question, I'm met very rebuked by saying I'm not going to talk about it in a public meeting. That's not acceptable. So yeah, absolutely we'll be voting no. I don't think that anybody should be voting yes in good conscience without fully developing that conversation in the light of day.
Well, Commissioner Collins.
There is a concern, obviously, Commissioner Stimson has phrased it well, that maybe that entity which effectively would have been the quote or proposal we accept lacks specific qualifications. And that given that, we may want to reserve the right to consult a third-party organization to determine whether or not the bidder has that. Am I correct in so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Would it not serve this well before we get into quandary that in the RFQ or the RFP, we state that the commission reserves the right to consult a third-party entity before any quote is accepted or submitted? That's so that bidders are aware of that.
I'm sure we could do any of that and add it into the RFP. As you know, yesterday in the meeting, I mentioned my opposition to the fact that we even need this qualification, and the fact that we could, as we put the RFP out, we can ask people to give us, a summary of their credentials that allow them to bid on this RFP, along with such information that.
Mr. Chairman, I urge you not to discuss your position or the position of any others that were taken in closed sessions,
All right.
sir.
Okay.
So if I could add, so when we vote on this motion, I guess my vote will be presumptive on the fact that we are going to add this clause, if you would, that we reserve the right to contact and or employ a third party organization or company to review and see if in fact the bidder does have qualifications. Am I correct?
We can do that. Sure. Commissioner Martis.
One final comment, we're not looking at expending huge sums of money right now. We simply want to consult to analyze some space issues. That's all we're looking for. The big expenditures are far down the road and will take a lot of time, but time is of the essence and there's no reason to delay. We still reserve the right to reject any and all proposals or to pursue outside advice if we find ourselves not comfortable with what we're looking at.
Any other discussion on the motion? You know, I agree. This is a RFP for looking at how much room we have and where we're going to move, especially as we move forward, looking at the judicial building and what we have to do to it in the future. So, you know, as it was said here sometime in the past, I think it was you, Commissioner Stimson, when we're voting on these, you're talking like $30,000 to $60,000 is, you know, not significant money when you're talking about a $35 million budget and we're moving this forward to the future for the county. That's going to be a good number of years. So. Mr. Collins.
Clarification, because I'm not sure does the motion refer to a request for a quote or a request for a proposal?
Proposals, which I presume would include a quote.
Commissioner Stimson.
We went into executive session yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, under the context of it was the acquisition or negotiation of the acquisition of real estate. Am I correct in that assumption? That's the quote that was put in there.
Yes, sir.
Which means that to be saying that this is 35,000, we might not do that. That's not being forthright to the public about what this really entails, which is why I raised the question. We are talking about sums of money that far exceed that, like far exceed the annual budget of the county that could be potentially involved in this type of situation. To do so without appropriate qualifications to even write the RFP, to ask the question of what we need, is why I would suggest that a request for qualifications be solicited, that we have a firm help write that RFP, that they do through the entirety of the process to go to have that out. Now, all of a sudden, 24 hours later, we're being forced into something that's not on an agenda where the public can come in and comment on it because we amended it today of. It was removed from the agenda yesterday as not being voted on and asked to be voting to move forward on this. That doesn't sit well with my constituents because it's not being transparent. And that's being very clear that it's not being transparent. And when I ask the question, I'm being told I'm not going to be transparent. That raises grave questions to what other conversations were had, what other backroom deals were made. So I do not think that this is the appropriate way to move forward on something that there's not a single person in this commission that's qualified to write an RFP for this scope.
So nobody's being forced. We're having a discussion on a proposal for a request or a solicitation for a request for a proposal. Nobody's being forced here. Everyone has an opportunity to vote. Any other discussion? Commissioner Collins, you've had your two, sorry. Commissioner Ungst.
Just a question on this, to maybe go back on the topic of what we went into executive session for yesterday. Would it be appropriate to go back to closed session to discuss this further or no?
This isn't, we went into executive session for the potential of purchasing property. This is just for the, putting out a solicitation for RFPs. Oh, that's not covered in executive session, right, Counselor?
Yes, you stated the intended purpose of going into closed session yesterday correctly to consider the purchase or acquisition of real estate. This is a separate agenda item regarding the proposed authority to issue a request for proposal.
Thank you. Commissioner Tillotson.
I'm only referring to Commissioner Collins. He's used his 2 times. Can I Can I give him one?
You
I
can,
haven't said
you
it.
can yield your time to him, yes?
Yes.
Commissioner Collins.
But I want assurance, and I'm not sure if the motion is or will be or can be amended, that the phrase I referred to is that we're notifying potential bidders that this bid may be reviewed by a third party, independent third party, and I stress independent third party for review.
You're adding, do you want to add that as an amendment?
If that has not been amended, I will add that as an amendment.
We have an amendment to the motion. Is there support?
I'm sorry,
Support by Commissioner Runz.
Mr. Chair,
Sure.
first, the maker of the motion needs to accept, please, the friendly amendment to the motion.
I accept the amendment.
And your support. Good. Thank you, Counselor. Keeping us in order here. Any other discussion
On the amendment, right?
on the amendment?
We had a second on the amendment?
Any other discussion on the amendment? If not, Commissioner Stimson.
All right, I just want to make sure I'm clear. It's on an amendment, so it resets, but
Separate issue.
Okay.
I still have two after this. I'm just trying to clarify so that I understand what Commissioner Collins' request of amendment would operate as. It's my understanding, Commissioner Collins, that we would need to figure out how we're selecting what independent means. I don't know what that means. It can't just be some random person picked. I'm not sure who picks that, how that's picked, how that's selected, how you would do that. They would then have to have qualifications necessary to be able to review the RFPs. Am I understanding that also correct? That would assist the administrator's office presumably in reviewing the various different bids to be able to rule on them or set up a rubrics to rule on them. Is that your amendment?
May I respond?
Yes.
Well, yes, my amendment is basically that, but if we're running down a rabbit hole to say that we have to make sure that the bidder is entity A and we are looking at entity B as a independent third party. And now we're saying, do we know the qualifications of entity B to make that decision? Well, if that's the case, then we hire entity C to see if entity B has the qualifications to see if entity A can do it.
No, sorry, go ahead.
That's the way I took what you're saying.
Go ahead.
No, I don't think I mean it that way, Commissioner Collins. I'm simply saying, one, I need to know what qualifies as independent. Okay. And two, I presume that this independent person would have the requisite certifications to do this. I'm just simply saying, it seems like it would make more sense to do that before and rather than after you've written an RFP, send it out to bids, get bids back, and then open these bids and then have to review these bids. It seems a bit cart before the horse. That's my concern.
Oh. Hold on now. Counselor, do we need this amendment read back so that we make sure that we have it clear and we have?
Yes, it would be helpful for the clerk to read back her understanding of the amendment, and I would just indicate, as I indicated to the administrator briefly, the amended motion indicates that the Board of Commissioners may employ a third party. It was not in any way mandatory. It was may, not shall. So there's little teeth, but it was may.
So I have the original motion being recommend that the Board of Commissioners proceed with the solicitation of RFPs for the purpose of a comprehensive facility space utilization and departmental location assessment. And then it was amended that it may be reviewed by an independent third party for review of qualifications.
Okay, we're all clear on that? That's your Commissioner Martin.
Besides may be reviewed, yes.
This will be my final comment. I will point that in the past, since I've been here, we've done millions of dollars worth of work at Maurice Spears campus without hiring somebody to review the RFPs and to make sure we're qualified to review those contracts. We've hired an entity to do LED lighting. We hired somebody previously to do a space analysis here that came through with a proposal for $60 to $90 million. That all went through without any of this kind of essentially histrionics. This is a very mundane proposal to seek proposal to help us understand the space options we have in front of us. It's nothing more than that. It's that simple. It's not even a lot of money.
Okay, we're gonna vote on the amendment first. And I would ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Okay, so roll for the amendment, correct?
Hold on now.
There's only one question to be decided. It was one motion that was amended, so there's only one question to be answered. Whether or not the County Board of Commissioners will authorize the issuance of an RFP for space utilization that may be reviewed.
That's included.
That's included. That is an amended motion. It is one motion, sir. Yes, please.
Okay, is everyone clear on that? It's all in one. Okay, would the clerk please call the roll? Thank you.
Commissioner Daly,
Yes.
Commissioner Krasny,
Yes.
Commissioner Martis,
Yes.
Commissioner Stimson,
No.
Commissioner Tillotson,
Yes.
Commissioner Van Doren,
Yes.
Commissioner Ungst,
Yes.
Commissioner Blanco,
Yes.
Commissioner Collins,
Yes.
8 yeas, 1 nay.
Motion passes. Is there any other new business? Any other new business? Public comment? No public comment? Commissioner comments? Commissioner Blanco?
I went to the scholarship, ceremony on Sunday and it was really nice and, presented our, person Hope Miller she was from Blissfield, and presented her with our scholarship and it went really well. I don't know if anyone's ever, went there before, but there's just so much community involvement, so many scholarships, so much money, that they've given out. And it was just a really nice day. So that was about it.
And thank you for doing that on behalf of Board of Commissioners. It started at 2 o'clock on a hot Sunday afternoon, but Dawson Auditorium was completely packed. And how many dollars worth of, was it $500,000 worth of
I
scholarships?
think it was close to 500,000. And then they talked about statistically, they've been around for, I mean, they've given out so much money. So many companies, organizations are involved and it's just a really nice showing.
So let me give you a little history about our community. This started with Mr. Frank Dick, who decided to give 3 scholarships away 20 years ago. And then as somebody saw that he did that, they thought they should kick in. And then he started asking people to kick in and they gave away $500,000 worth of scholarships Sunday. And they've done that for the last 4 or 5 years. It's absolutely phenomenal for the students in Lenawee County.
Yep.
We're very fortunate. We have a great county.
So that people are not misinformed. They say that the students were given $500,000. That's not the only scholarships these students received.
That's right.
Some of them received scholarships from the universities and from other locations.
This is just local from Lenawee County, businesses, organizations. Yeah, so there was many more, and there were some recipients that received multiple scholarships. So, yeah.
And the original one that the Dicks gave away is now a $20,000 one. It's $5,000 a year, renewable each year. And that was to the representative from Blissfield. Okay. Any other Commissioner Unks?
I just want to comment on the same topic there. I served on the selection process and let me tell you, that was very tough. There was a lot of good applicants. The 3 of us that served on it, we had a lot of good discussion and there was a lot of debate and, we just had too many good candidates, but.
And I thank all the commissioners for participating and thank Commissioner Unks, Commissioner Blanco, and Commissioner Martis for serving on that committee. That's a tough job.
It makes you want to write a lot of checks that you can't
Yeah.
afford to write.
I wish we could do more.
Yes.
Any other commissioner comments? Announcements? Motion to adjourn.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Tillotson, supported by Commissioner Martis. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Opposed, no.